Hey YouTube, I wanted to show the finished coop, and here are the young ladies hanging out on the bottom. We do have to finish the automatic water and feeder system so we can get rid of these bowls here on the bottom and the little feeder tray. But let me go ahead and show you what everything else is about. This is the start of the water system, and it seems to be working okay. They're just not used to using those little nipples down there on the bottom as far as, you know, associating those with water. They kind of do it every once in a while, and they were all fighting over the one that leaks in the back, so I figured I'd put a bowl of water in there to see what's going on. Make sure they're getting the water that they need before they get used to it. But anyways, here's the door to the front of the coop. Those are drawer sliders that you can get at like Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're attached to an aluminum bar. And here's the lockout little pin. You got a hole drilled in, and my nephews have come over today and obviously played with my bar only days after it being completed, so I might have to strengthen that a little bit. But anyways, push the handle in, just bent the aluminum stock over, put some bolts in it to make a little round handle, and that's it open. So I'll show you the operation of it here. And you'll see that with it closed, let me get around the front side, it's nice and sealed off, so that worked out pretty good. And there is still a little void up here at the top that I'm going to put some hardware cloth over just to make sure, you know, snakes or whatever don't get in it. I don't anticipate it, but I don't know, I'm kind of paranoid. I see everybody talking about it on YouTube and see all y'all's coops, and I get a little worried about it sometimes. But anyways, the PVC frame really didn't work out too well as far as structure goes. It was really wobbly when it was all said and done, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit, so I went back in and braced it. You can tell there's some painting that needs to take place. I was trying to cover up the white zip ties because for some reason they're cheaper than the black zip ties at Lowe's, so went with all white, and I'll just cover them up with paint. So here's what it is. Let me show you the door here in the back. You can see it's a little half circle door, and you have these little turnbuckle deals. I'm starting to lose a little bit of light, so I'll try to hurry up and get you what you need. And there we go. Inside, you have the roosting blocks there in the back. I'll have to do another video in the daylight because this is fading fast. But here's the nesting boxes. So far, we've had 1 egg in 3 days, and since we've had the chickens, and it has not been in one of these boxes. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know if they want more privacy or what. So we'll try to figure that out. You can see the entrance way over there. I'm probably going to put a bar in the front so the shavings don't fall out. And the idea was that this would be way cheaper than any other coop that I could buy from Tractor Supply, more sturdy and all that stuff. In all honesty, for the same price, you can get some of the smaller pre-made coops, but realistically, I mean, you put a lot of time and effort into it, so this is more cost effective. If you were to buy one this beefy, in my opinion, you would be spending a little bit more. But it's done using the electrical conduit and just hooped over, and I've got it bolted through on the top side there. That's one of the little solar powered lights. It's like a little flower or something. I stole out of my wife's garden. So it lights up inside for now until I figure out what kind of light I'm going to use inside. I'm trying to go with solar so I can maintain the tractor idea. The wheels are a little too small, so I'm going to have to go to another system that makes it a little bit more difficult to push around. But it is what it is. It's kind of a work in progress, and this is really a huge experiment, you know, to try to see if it would work, you know, designing it all from scratch and everything. So I'm really happy how it turned out. I do want to finish up some painting and stuff like that, and then we'll probably come up with a permanent coop, just because so far the tractor idea it's not a bad idea, but it does seem to require, you know, a little extra attention, especially with these wheels. I think when we change the wheels out, it won't be as much of a hassle as far as pushing it around, so it won't be such a pain. But you can see, you know, the drag marks here in the grass and where they have been. You can see the outline of where I spray painted it. But anyways, it'll be all good. So there they are, and here's the final deal. Just got a little ramp to walk up. They usually don't walk up the ramp. They kind of flop up about halfway. which is all right. We want to raise chickens from chicks too, so this should, you know, help them out a little bit. I might have to add a couple of extra rungs. Those are about 8 inches apart, so I might have to add a couple, but we'll go from there. In the front, I do have a little bit of a shelf I was trying to show. Probably saw earlier that the chickens like to roost on. They like to, you know, sit up there. The same thing inside. They like to sit on the roosting blocks and all that stuff and kind of hang out. So far, we're a one-egg wonder, but I'm sure that these ladies will get a little more comfortable and start giving us, you know, a couple more eggs, of course, and as the future goes on. These are the black Australorps, and I didn't realize how pretty of a chicken they were until we got them, and you can see the iridescent feathers and stuff like that in the sunlight. It really looks nice. So I was really happy with these chickens. The guy I bought them from wasn't 100% on the age. He was thinking 1.5 to 2 years. He had quite a few chickens, so I'm not sure either. I know they just went through their molting process, and now they're starting to get, you know, all their feathers are obviously coming back and thickening back up, so that's pretty cool. So far, this little feeder tray has worked out okay. They've been doing a lot of foraging and just digging through the grass here recently, and I did put the cup of water like here just now, just because I wanted to make sure they were getting enough water with that water rail. I probably mentioned it before, but this is like my 6th take of the same video, so I'll mention it again. I'm not sure how this water rail is working out. We'll play it by ear and kind of just monitor it. My wife's here during the day, so she can kind of check on it for me. We just added this little piece of PVC for a handle, and whoop, off comes the top. Fill it full of water, and so far it's been lasting about a day or so. We've been doing the fresh water, of course, every day, and then popping the back off, and it's the same thing. Really, this upper section here is really just a handle, but if you pull this off, all the water comes down. It does have, like, I think a 1 inch or 2 drop, 2-inch drop or something for the line of the pipe, so we can kind of just let gravity help us out when we want to wash it out and clean it. So far, everything's worked out. I do want to add some securing straps to the back hatch here, so when it is laid down, you can put a little weight on it, just using the little straps. I do have eye bolts going inside, holding, and I don't know that you're going to be able to see them, holding the latches that I opened earlier. So this is the other end of an eye bolt. I'll attach a string to it and then put it on the door here. So the roofing so far, the netting goes all the way around, and the roofing is just some thin Kydex type material that you can buy at like Lowe's or Home Depot, like $10 a sheet or $20 a sheet, something like that. This is really thin. I don't know, other than it holding against the rain, I mean, it's not going to give any thermal protection, but I don't know that I really need it. We're here in Georgia, southern Georgia, so I don't really anticipate it getting too cold too often, but we'll see. I've kind of seen some mixed reviews on the heat lamps, so I'm not really sure about that, but it is a work in progress, so I'll give update videos as they go. You can tell here that we use some bigger wire. This is 14 millimeter, like garden wire, so it's pretty thick to keep like raccoons and foxes out, because we do back up to the woods back there. So I did want to have something a little bit sturdier, and I wanted to make sure that the coop was 100% foolproof, and just, you know, making sure that no critters could get in there and hurt the chickens. There's a little window up top that I'm going to put some hardware cloth on, and we have rattlesnakes. We've killed 2 or 3 in the yard, you know, over the years. So I want to make sure that, you know, of course, they're safe from that. So anyways, thanks for watching, and as we go, I'll just keep you guys updated, and have a good one. Thanks.